I kept it short and sweet, saying that it's finalized and his mother and I are no longer married as to that day. He asked how I felt. I'm sure he could tell in my voice I'd been crying, and I told him I was fine. My 17-year-old son got on the phone next and we spoke for nearly 90 minutes. My eldest and his fiancée have been doing a great job looking after him, and he's still, like myself, going to therapy. I won't go into detail about what we spoke of, but I will say there's still a lot of work to be done specifically with his view of relationship. Nina came to see me later that night as she always does, and obviously I gave her the news. She just wrapped her arms around my waist and held tight as yes. I cried again. Once I was able to compose myself again, Nina told me no matter what, she will never betray me and loves me with all her heart. And I know every word of it is true. I might catch some heat for saying this as I don't regret the life I built with Sue, and despite all she did give me 2 strong sons, but it's clear to me now I picked the wrong woman. Nina in the last 4.5 months has given so much and asked nothing in return. All she asks of me is to be there for her. I don't want to drone on about her for too long, but she truly is my hero. There's also some other interesting events that came to pass following the divorce finalization. Case in point, Dave actually reached out to me. Yes, he actually sent me a message here on Reddit. Turns out he saw the story when it blew up on Reddit, and immediately recognized that it. Before anyone asks, no, I will not be revealing what his Reddit username is. I think I've made the kid suffer enough. The first thing he did was apologize for his hand in all of this. He gave me a rundown of what the results of the binder I sent his mother did. Essentially, he's been excommunicated from his family. His mother, as I learned when I was planning out my payback, is a devout Catholic woman, in church 3 days a week. So her views on marriage are sacred, and learning that her son just broke up a marriage that was almost a quarter-century long sent her into a rage. She kicked him out that very day, and within the week when his employer got the binder I sent to them, he was fired as well. He's been couch hopping and trying to find a new job ever since. He claimed he wanted to reach out to me on social media, all of the places he'd blocked me when he was putting his PP in my ex-wife, but admits he was afraid because in his word if I was able to find him before, I could find him again. I admit I could have went all in on destroying this kid, but I didn't. I asked him when was the last time he saw Sue, and he said he hadn't seen her in months. The last time he had talked to her, Sue told him to forget about her and move on with his life. Which I recall Sue saying the last time I had spoke to her, so at the very least she wasn't lying about that. I asked a few more questions and the kid was surprisingly forthcoming. I guess he was looking for some kind of penance for the chaos he'd brought upon himself. A lot of what he said mirrored info I'd gleaned from text documentation I gathered. I didn't do much responding, I just asked and he answered. Convo went on for 20 or so minutes before he said again how sorry he was, and that's when I hit him with this. Copy/paste from the convo. You're a 27-year/oh man who has to live the rest of your life knowing that your own mother now loathes you for breaking up a marriage that was almost as long as how long you've been breathing. I know you've messaged me because karma is eating at you, but I won't give you closer. When I was 27 I was building a legacy. Right now you're a homeless, jobless homewrecker. If you're smart you'll learn from this lesson. If you're not you'll stay as a failure until you're my age, assuming you make it that far. I'd wish you luck, but you don't need luck, you need to get your shit in order. With that, I ended the convo and blocked him. Not the kind of closure he was looking for obviously, and I could have been a lot more hostile, but I think those words will haunt him enough as is. The next major event is that as of May 4, 2021. Nina is now my wife. Over the last 2 months, we have had long discussion as to where we want things to go between us. Nina made it abundantly clear that she has no intentions of ever being with anyone else but me, and she wants my namesake. She wants to be my wife, and wants me to adopt her daughter, we'll call her Anna, as my own. As I've made mention of in the past, I adore this kid. She's 6 now, birthday was last month, and she idolizes me. I'm the first father figure she's had since her bio dad pretty much cut out on them when she was 4, and Nina's made a practice of not introducing any man she's been involved with since her divorce in Anna's life unless they had staying power. Needless to say I have staying power, and experience raising children. And speaking of, Anna and my youngest are like 2 peas in a pod. The big bro/lil sis dynamic between them and both stunning and adorable. My son really clung on to Anna and her revels in it. Had a talk to my therapist about it, and he said it's definitely a good sign. My son sees innocence he wants to protect in Anna even though his innocence has been shattered. So, we decided last Monday to go to City Hall and pull the trigger. Took 24 hours to get the marriage license, and the reveal was the most uneventful reveal ever conceived. Oz made mention as if no one didn't see this coming and Big Sis said now placing bets on when the now expecting post goes up. We thought we were keeping our relationship under wraps all these months, but pretty much everyone figured it out already. So yay, that was kinda hilarious. Some people are going to say it was too soon. And yes, I said in past comment responses that I'm never getting married again, but that was all before the true dynamic between Nina and I manifested. This woman has professed her undying, unconditional love for me. She has laid in my arms and cried saying how happy she is, and how she never in a million years imagined she'd ever have the chance to be with me. She's gone in painstaking detail about how she's felt about me the past 25 years, and how even while she was married she lamented the notion that Sue won. And I honestly had no idea how deep that rabbit hole went. She even went as far as saying there were times where she herself had thoughts of having an affair with me popped into her head, but she could never be that kind of person. And even so, through all of the years I've known her, she has given me so much and asked so little in return. Even the woman I married and had 2 children with has never shown the amount of love to me that Nina has. I'd be a fool not to give her my name. So now, she has it. And we're in the early stages of paperwork for me adopting Anna. And finally, there's Sue. I've not spoken to her since the last time I visited our marital home, which is going on 4 months ago. But mutual friends, the ones that are left, do send me updates from time to time. Through one of those friends, a realtor I know, that she sold the house and he gave her a job as a clerical assistant in his firm, and in doing so waived the assisted payments I had to fork over as a result of her unemployment. She now lives in a small apartment close by his office, which he also helped set her up in. She's functioning, but a shell of the woman she was. She's barely gained weight and keeps to herself. She comes in, does her work and doesn't socialize with anyone but him, likely because her socializing with people from work is where this whole thing started. Last update I got on her was at the end of March, where I thanked him for looking out for her, but told him I don't need any more updates, she's no longer my problem. I'm almost certain she knows about Nina and I, as some of those surviving mutual friends have commented about us. As my youngest is a year away from being a legal adult, I have no reason to ever speak to her again, and I won't. And that's that. My journey of betrayal, revenge, and mental agony is over. I'm fading back into the swamp to live with my new frog wife and her little tadpole. Sincerely, to the literal thousands of people who have given me advice, well wishes and praise through all of this, thank you. Being able to share my story and help others going through the ordeal of infidelity has humbled and blessed me. To the new friends I've actually made here on Reddit, I love you all. Never would I ever have guessed I'd find such wonderful people in a place where admittedly not so wonderful things can be said. Keep it green and keep it classy, Reddit.